I've just baked this absolutely delicious Latvian rhubarb tray bake. Let me show you how I made it. Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to the homestead in the kitchen. And today, like I just said, we're making a rhubarb tray bake, I guess you'd call it, or kefir rhubarb cake, it's sometimes called. Now, I've just been out to the garden and picked the rhubarb. Obviously, rhubarb is kind of the first fruit, if you can call it that. Technically it's a vegetable, but anyway, it's the first fruit that you can pick and do something with. And so we make cakes, we make juice, syrup, and you can also make something called sukardis, which is kind of dried, candied rhubarb, and store it for the winter, and that's how it's preserved. And I don't know, maybe jam as well, and all kinds of stuff like that. But anyway, today we're making a cake, very summery kind of cake. And now, a couple of weeks ago, my wife Gita bought me this book. It's called Our Heritage by Signa Mirana, I hope that's pronounced correctly, who's a famous kind of foodie person here in Latvia. The book was written in 2015, and it's a beautiful journey into traditional Latvian recipes savoured by grandparents and so, you know, basically people around the country have nominated their grandparents to talk through the recipes and save them. And it's inspired by the fact that she herself lost her grandmother and the recipes went with her rather than being written down. And if you've been a fan of this channel for any time, you'll realise that what I'm trying to do is capture those recipes from Gita's mum, who's behind me here, so that they're captured and, you know, forevermore really, and on YouTube. So it's, you know, a book which is along the same lines of what I'm trying to do, and I've been reading it, and it's wonderful because it's been translated into English as well. As much as I'm enjoying learning Latvian, I can read the recipes. And what I hope to do is later on in the year, when it's not so crazy, because outside at the moment it's crazy, it's middle of June, there's lots going on in the garden, but during the winter months when it's a bit more slack, for video ideas, I hope to replicate some of the recipes from here. Some of the recipes in already, I've already done, the traditional, you know, marinated pumpkin, potato pancakes, stuff like that. They're all videos on the channel, but they're also in here as it happens as well. And there's some beautiful photography and beautiful stories as well, which, you know, as someone who's a storyteller, I'm very pleased about. So that's what we're doing today. But the recipe in here is almost identical to the way that Gita's mum makes it. So, I just saw that and I thought, oh, rhubarb's in season now. Let's make a rhubarb cake. So what do we need to be able to do that? I'll talk more about the book later on in a different video. Maybe I can get hold of the author and we can Zoom and you know, have it'd be an interesting chat, certainly. Ingredients wise, we need some rhubarb, of course. Butter, eggs, sour cream, kefirs, baking powder, sugar, citron scab, which is citric acid, flour, of course, and cinnamon. Now, there's two components to this. There's the cake part, and then there's the kind of cream layer that goes on the top, which is what the sour cream and cinnamon and is for. And Gita's mum would make it on this. I'm kind of pointing over there, but you can't see it, but there's like a cake pan that you can, I'd never seen one before until I came here, but you can put it onto a gas ring and then cook a cake rather than bake it in an oven. But although I will be baking it in an oven, but anyway, that's another way you can make it. And yeah, so I've seen it made here, and I've seen this cream go on the top of the cake with the rhubarb. So yeah, anyway, let's get on and show you how to make it, and then we'll bake it and enjoy it. Okay, so first thing we need to do is crack a couple of eggs into a bowl, and unlike me, try to avoid getting the shell in as well, so I'll just have to fish that out. It looks great on the video, doesn't it? And then once we've done that, we then need to melt the butter in a pan and melt it gently so it doesn't burn. It shouldn't take too long. So it's a nice liquid consistency, and then measure out the sugar and get that right. And then what we're going to do is pop those ingredients in a bowl and whisk it up. There's a lot of whisking in this recipe, so first of all whisk the egg, and then let the butter cool a little bit before you put it in. So we don't want scrambled eggs, and then whisk in the butter as well, and then finally what we'll do is we'll whisk in the sugar. Once you've done that, we'll measure out the kefirs. You want, for this recipe, a couple of 100 millilitres, and pour that in as well. And then again, we're going to whisk that in and spatula out all the stuff inside the bowl as well, inside the measuring jug. So measure out flour, like I'm doing here, and then finally baking soda as well, and your citric acid. And then we're going to whisk that in as well into the mixture. And then, effectively we've got our cake mixture ready to go in the pan. So scrape it in. You might find it goes a bit stiff after a few minutes. But then spatula it all in, scrape it, level it all out. Make sure you've got your baking powder, paper in, of course. And then we're going to chop our rhubarb, plonk all that on top, again all evenly. You don't need to push it into the cake or anything like that, it will kind of sink itself. Just making sure it's all even. And then we'll make the cream topping with the sour cream, spoonful of sugar, or generous spoonful of sugar, and the cinnamon, of course. And again, we'll whisk that up. Give a little hand whisk in a minute. And this is the real difference. It's the first time I've ever seen this kind of topping on cakes when I first came to Latvia. Oh, an egg as well, of course. I forgot the egg. Whisk it all up so that will set nicely. And the sugar sort of counteracts the sourness of the sour cream. Pour all that in as evenly as possible, but it doesn't need to be perfect. And that's all ready to go in the oven. All the measurements and cooking times and everything are in the description below. So after that time, about 30-40 minutes, take the cake out. And it should look something like that. It's a little bit brown on top in places, but... And then we need to just take it out, put it on a cooling tray. And this is after it's cooled down, of course. And we're ready to serve and eat our absolutely delicious cake with a nice cup of coffee. So enjoy, have fun making it yourself, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.